All right, testing. 1, 2, 3. Stream seems to be working good. Yesterday, I think I'll actually get this started on time. Let's move this up. Shimata. One day I'll have my permit set up for streaming. Until then, guys, set it up and set it each time we do these sessions. All right, today is Sunday. This is the last league session for the second quarter. Today is North America PSN League and Europe Steam League. We'll get this post on your dashboard. Okay, let's get one woman at a time away. League match, 16 players, one. Today's what? 0629. Last weekend of June, halfway through the year. Definitely doing these league sessions have made time fly by quite quickly. Alright, I think I got everything set correctly here. That sounds pretty similar, right? It looks a little. Trying to
Okay.
wait. Hey, Cessna, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Awesome. Hi, they should be able to hear you too. Okay. 2-9. The room has already been. Oh, we got Star Yen in the room already. Room's already made. 06.
The room's made? I
Yep.
can't see it.
Oh, PSN?
Oh, I see it now. I see
Okay.
it now, yeah.
Okay. 296, right? Create room. Alright. Oh, we got time for one game. Okay. Then just stop by the room fight. Alright, both North America, Europe room made. Let me get the 45944. 45944. Hey, welcome J-Thor. 49544. 45944. 45944. Code 06. Zero 5580. 05580. Code 2906. Okay, those posted. Hey, welcome RJ. Wish she was in here also.
Mm.
Round one. Ready, go!
And anyone watching the stream, if there's some sound issues or video issues, let me know. I think I got the landline cable fixed correctly this time, so hopefully it's should be better quality than yesterday. Alright, what am I trying to do? Discord.
Round three. Ready, go!
PSN 4 5 9 4 4 code 0558005580.
Ready, go!
Hey, how are you guys doing today?
Hey Chan Chai.
Alright, I am on Ethernet. I made sure.
It's okay. It's okay.
Summertime,
I already put an
PS5.
asterisk mark on your name.
There you go. Yeah, marked like the Wi-Fi warrior, Chan Chai.
Shady, very shady. Hopefully both you guys had a good time in yesterday's tournament.
We did, and I want to give a special shout out to Setsuna also. It's a week late because we didn't really highlight it. A lot of people were really complimenting me on my match with Gentleman Thief, but you know, Setsuna is the guy who actually beat Gentleman Thief. So I want to give shout outs to Setsuna for his amazing performance last week and this week.
I appreciate it, man. We both fought valiantly well, but
We gave him hell at least.
yeah, it wasn't an easy way forward. I mean, that was something that people were saying. It's like, well, it's filled with demons, so.
I thought the whole tournament was really filled with demons because North America Virtua Fighter getting so damn strong. I think different people are gonna have different frames of reference, but this team, Akai, Setsuna, myself, we have fought so many players in the country and in the region, in the West, and so we've had a lot of experience of all the different power levels. We've been seeing how much stronger everyone's getting. The new generation, of course, and also even old veterans getting stronger too. Everybody's getting stronger in North American Virtua Fighter, and I think sometimes it can be easy to overlook it because it's easy to kind of remember, certain times in the past and how strong they were, but everyone gets different perspectives of the overall pie because I don't think anyone's played everybody. But I think, I honestly do think that the events ultimately, the seedings were good, but that these were just crazy strong fields because I don't know I know people might think other people have an easy path, but I think everybody felt they had a hard path. You know what I mean? So I don't think there were any easy paths. So I think North American Virtua Fighter is getting stronger and stronger. And of course, the greatest are still the greatest, but overall, the tide is rising. So that's just how I see that. But I had a blast. I had a great time. And Setsuna, I don't know if how did you feel about the North American qualifiers, online qualifiers? Can you guys hear me okay?
I could hear you. I think maybe maybe it's off the mic or just have to step out of it.
Oh,
Okay.
sorry. Yeah. I was muted. No, I think this tournament is on par to what you would expect on a major. I mean, if you go to
Yeah.
Evo Las Vegas, this is the kind of field that you're going to expect to see, or Combo Breaker, or Frosty Frostings, or whatever it is. This is the type of field that you're going to see. You're going to see the demons. You're going to see kind of like the old school, people that are trying to come back. You're going to see that the people that are on the way up. There's a good, healthy field of people that are coming to these tournaments. Of course, not everybody can go to every tournament, but the fact that they're online, it allows for a lot of different variety, right? Last week we didn't get Shidosha. We got Shidosha this week.
Yeah. Well, numbers
So
too.
exactly.
Though he did have to quickly go to work right after his last battle.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think I remember he say 10 I think he was 30 minutes past this deadline that he
So
set for
it's kind of
himself.
it's like thank you Nova for relieving me of my duty in VF. So,
Yeah.
um,
I
but
mean,
it was
I mean that was something that I was fighting last week. Was I was supposed to go see some friends, and I just kept winning and winning and winning. I was like, okay, I need to stop at some point.
but tournaments are a real commit.
Yeah, they are. They are.
So
And
like
I
you
did.
have to be prepared for that. They are tough,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah.
But it is one of those things. But we appreciate everyone's commitment into it. I appreciate everyone who entered the tournament, and I think I think overall they were awesome. I think the events were actually really really well run. Like it is so hard to run, and I thought the Tampa Never Sleeps cruise, who I'm assuming worked on this. And then in collaboration with Sega, facilitating a lot of things too, and of course the stream team, the commentators were doing a great job. I was really happy with how the commentators worked on both weekends. I really am. Like everybody's working on their skills. This weekend, Limey and Foxhound really, I thought, had an even stronger chemistry than before. And I think Foxhound's research in VF is paying off. It's showing more and more. He's more and more comfortable, talking on the VF side. But I really love that he adds like a texture and color to the commentary that can as a team can draw in a bit more listeners and viewers. But though the opportunities for streams to be playing on like someone's TV in the living rooms is less likely these days than in the past. I still think that's a really valuable thing to have this diversity of voices, and for overall the team to be telling stories, to creating a narrative, because that's really what's important when you do broadcast these events, to make them stick and to make them even more memorable. I'll let you guys say something.
Oh, go ahead, continue. I'm typing around everywhere, so busy work.
But look at this. I'm really happy. Look, we are on the PlayStation, Akai Leagues today. Today's the finals of the Akai Leagues of this season. And we've got Bushido in here, which is a really pleasant surprise. I know that Bushido loves the rollback netcode like a lot, right? And this is going on to the PS4 netcode. But at the same time, Bushido, congratulations. Have a baby. They have a new baby. They've got, I don't even know how much sleep they've got. So I think they're getting all the VF they can get. And the Akai Leagues is here to supply them. So, and again, it plays great on here, but it does play a little different. So what I'm saying is I'm happy Bushido's coming in here to get more VF with all of us. Get those reps in, and he's such a strong fighter. So we're happy about it. But yeah, I had a good time. I was nervous as hell.
Are you feeling better now, Shai?
Yeah, well,
Okay.
well, yesterday, I think it was just mostly I didn't tell Cincinnati that, actually, but yesterday I had never felt as much nerves as I felt yesterday, but I think it's because I'm applying for like a job that's there's a job opportunity that suddenly popped up that's like really exciting, So I'm trying to do that as well as the other job searches. And so this one just has me a little on edge. And then that little bit on edge combines with the tournament yesterday. So I was like nervous as hell all day. And
Round 3.
like it could have been the milk, could have been bananas, but I even, hurled like an hour before the tournament. I'd never experienced that before. That said, I am comfortable playing online tournaments aside from the fact that I was nervous. I mean, I was nervous last week too, but it's something that was like the normal thing for tournament where you're nervous for like 2 to 3 or 4 rounds, but you work through it and you work through it and you work your performance to where it needs to be at the right times. But this weekend, I felt really, it was extra. But there were some things I did to cope, right? Some people play music, which last week I definitely felt the need for playing music because last week I didn't do that, and it felt so isolating being in my man cave. Like it feels more isolating than normal. When you're just waiting to play your tournament match, and you're not interacting with people, or I was not interacting with people as much during the tournament because I'm trying to focus. But then it feels extra isolating, and that's a different kind of pressure. But then yesterday I played at least I played an audiobook on job search actually, and so that helped, and that actually helped a lot. Some of my opponents after the matches, I started conversations with them after we had finished, but as long as I felt like it wasn't interfering with their tournament run, and that helped a lot, too. So. It was exciting. It was a nervous experience, but I'm happy with my performance. Right, I fought amazing opponents throughout, and last week I got 5th, and was really that close, insanely close to securing a top 4. And this week I got 9th, but look, the first person that knocked me out got 2nd place in the tournament. Koen Raku is an amazing fighter. We had an epic battle in Seattle, and so then in this tournament we had an epic battle too, even though it was off screen, but I'll post it. And then then I lost to Shidosha, but I was at least able to tie for 9. It was almost got into the top 8 again. So yeah.
Right. I'm just
How
going
about, oh, go ahead.
I'm just going to real quickly. We have the North America PS room up and running. We're starting the 5-match countdown already. All the information is already posted on the bottom. And we already got 4 players also for Europe Steam League, so we'll start the countdown after this match also. Alright. Continue, Chan-Chan?
Okay. Well, I want to ask Setsuna though more about their experience if they're willing to talk about it, because I thought Setsuna had amazing runs both weeks too. Of course, last week Setsuna and I had really stellar runs that people could see, but I think when you look at the fields that both of us were fighting, and there's a lot of impressive. I'm really happy with a lot of our results, both of us. Go ahead, Setsuna.
So I mean, generally, yes. I'm satisfied that I've had some good matches, weird matches. Yesterday I got to fight. Jacko. I got to fight Yellowtail. I got to fight Numbers. I was even Steven with Numbers until he managed to get me on the back foot on the final final round, right?
Yeah.
I mean, there was a point in game 2 where I could have clutched it out, and I just never managed that hit.
Those are really tough. I know those ones well.
I know, but it is what it is, and he's of course a better player. So the fact that I was able to bring it down to the wire, I thought that was good. And then I managed to edge over Jacko, and I got beat by Yellowtail on a very weird pick. So he was playing Shundi that I didn't know he played at all.
Yeah, Yellowtail plays every character actually.
Yeah. So it was strange. just not a regular Shundi at all. Like
No,
very
but it's
ver-
similar to Enkai Shundi, meaning that it's applying their understanding of DF to,
gotcha.
but
Yeah.
Shen's move list, and so it feels very less natural than maybe somebody that's more enthusiastic about playing Shundi. You know, so,
Yeah, I
so
think
it's
that'll be
feeling
your first
less
time
through, and it's more
Let's go
like
play someone else. Yeah.
I've been fortunate to fight all of his characters, so you know.
Yeah. So yeah, it caught me by surprise. Right. I managed to win one set, lose the first set out of surprise, and then the last one he of course had reads on me, and I was like, okay, I didn't take it out.
Yeah, it's really tough stuff, but I'm glad you guys had good battle though. And I also want I don't want to sell you short, Setsuna. Look, this is still a game very much about like matchups, right? And so it's players are not really on a linear scale. There's still matchup is a big factor, and everybody brings different stuff to the table. So I don't see it as like a clear cut like. I think Numbers is an amazingly strong player, but I think you're also an amazingly strong player that scares a lot of people in the bracket because they know that, you know, they want to say it's the format, but it's you. The fact is that you just read a little differently than most people, but that's using your strengths for you. Your game, everybody knows you're strong. Really, really strong. Everyone knows it. Everyone knows that you can knock out anybody in the tournament. Seriously, you knocked out GT. You knocked GT in the losers. And that's like, this is all undisputed if you're just watching the record, right? But at the same time, what is the scariest to me about your game is that sometimes your game looks like you're comfortable, but it's not that you're comfortable, but it looks like you're comfortable, so where people think that they've got you figured out because they're reading like normal.
Right.
But you're really good at countering that. Like at going one, basically I have to tell everybody, when you feel comfortable against Setsuna, you're about to get sucker punched really bad. The moment you feel comfortable, this guy like sucker punches the crap out of you and will take the round. You know? And so you have to like, it is similar to like fighting like an Adam Yuki, where Adam Yuki, if you're comfortable in your game, oh, he's figured you out already. Because if you're comfortable, he knows. Like, if you know your game,
you're doing what he wants. Yeah.
Yeah, and so you have to do your best to like reverse what you want to do when you fight. Adam is just like, you know, highly refined, super like this is his whole way of playing for over 20 years, for 25 years, oh, more than that, you know. And at the same time, he's of course super highly skilled, so he has the skill refinements that people underestimate because he's playing Jeffrey, right? It's harder to see that skill refinement unless you're a Jeffrey player, and I'm not, right? So Jeffrey's a character that gets underrated a lot, just simply on this.
Yeah,
chip.
definitely.
Right.
Oh, you have to be very strong to win consistently with Jeffrey. I think people don't respect that.
Yeah, 100%. You know, so you watch it and he makes it look easy, but look, he built up reads on Konraku over the course of about 4 games before he was really like, I know how this guy functions, and I know like where he's probably gonna go when I do that, right? So then by the time of the grand finals, he's applying those reads, and Konraku is an amazing player who is adaptive, but couldn't adapt to exactly what Adam did, you know. And but if you watch like IU Fanboy or Chow and Konraku, you can see just how dynamic those players are. They really do adapt, you know. Chow maybe gets too cute when he does it, but he's also correct, right? His reads are correct actually. But Adam is very scary, and you know your game is got similarities to Adam, you know. And you know, look, even Adam gets underestimated by younger folk. You know,
Oh, yeah.
It's only the older folk who are just like, no, this guy's so terrifying. You know, the young folk heard about it. It might just take a while for them to understand.
Yeah, I was surprised that Cho decided to stick to Akai for the first match set against Konraku.
Don't really, because like he's got a very strong Akira. Like
Yeah,
he's
you know,
ranked
his Akai is strong. I just
number 2 or 3 in the
yeah.
country.
But when I guess when I was playing against him, play against
Mhm.
both his Kage and Akai, I always felt like his Kage was much more uh better. So I was like, I guess he maybe didn't want the mirror match between the Kages is my guess. Um, but from a person who didn't participate in these events, um, I think since this field of players is so actually it's quite similar in skill level, except if you're the number one, number two seed. Um, uh, finishing like you might finish like for example, Chan finished fifth last week and finished ninth this week. It's very close to what each. It's not that far apart. And then Koraku like finished like 17th in the last qualifier, this time finished second. So shouldn't be I think hopefully people is not too disappointed with how they finish, because the playing field is quite uh uh challenging for it. Challenging. Let's see information.
By the
Yeah,
way, everyone.
I think you have a fantastic point there. Like it's you're getting to the point where people's levels are so close together that
Mhm.
it's seeding, it's where did you land in the pools, it's so many things.
Yeah, people are just unhappy if they get matched. So,
Yeah, and that's
yeah.
a
But
that's a
some,
natural feeling. So
yeah, it's a normal feeling, and
uh,
also, like for seeding to actually be even somewhat fair, you have to do exactly like what you did, which is you got to use recent results. So even if a really strong player has like just we know they're strong, so we can give them power rankings, and so they will get a seeded position to a degree. But if they haven't been playing it interactive for like a long time, that's a little harder to justify, right? And you have to also give credit to players who had stellar runs at big profile events, right? Like they earned that spot. They may lose it in the tournament, but the tournament's going to settle that. So.
but yeah, like just going back to like people's skill level is not that far apart from each other. Just using Cessna's example because uh like in combo breaker Cessna it was a 2-1 Cessna playing against
Mhm.
Jacko. Jacko beat you 2-1, right? And
Yeah,
now
correct.
in this qualifier you beat him 2-1. So it's give and take, just like how we play normally online where matches go back and forth. All right, we got one more match and then we'll start the North America League. But that's just like tournaments are just kind of like at that moment of time, right? So uh,
I think it's good. I think it's exciting.
yeah,
It tells you that
Round one.
people have understood the game, they've understood the assignment and how to play, and things are just coming down to like whoever has a better game plan at the moment, how people are feeling in general, etc. So
yeah,
I
like
think it's good. I think it lends itself for dramatic
yes,
situations.
dramatic, yeah.
Round
It's
two.
like
Yeah,
nothing everything can be completely like perfect. And like any sports you play and participate, there's always circumstances that's out of people's control, but they keep continuing playing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of there's a lot of performance
Uh-huh.
management, but there's also a lot of like the game plan exactly with look, Gentleman Thief had a certain game plan, right? Adam really executed on his game plan this tournament, so he was pretty much indomitable. Tricky had been going through a whole training arc this past week. I think if people haven't been watching Tricky's content the past week, she's really been determined and pushing hard towards those results, but also she's put herself in the leagues for this ever since last Sunday, and embracing it, right? She put herself in all of the Akai leagues, and it's big, it's huge, and I think it is paying off for her. I think, of course, we know she's such an amazing fighter, and she had to fight against amazing opponents. So it's one of those things where I think it's been exciting, and those that are in the middle of it can really feel it, So yeah. Hey Reaper, there's another person who's been on their training. Good luck, have fun, everyone.
Yep,
Yeah, good
good luck
luck,
and have fun,
guys.
everyone. We just started the PSN League, 6 players, so it should be quite quick. 20 minutes at max. We should be seeing either all J-Door matches or General Whipper. And Europe, you still have 2 more matches before we begin. Let's see how much it is. Yep, 2 more matches before we make it 1 more match before we begin.
Round one. Ready, go!
Oh, we got someone new, Goofy. And of course, since I'm from North America, everyone in the Europe room looks yellow or green, or yellow or orange. So if the connection does look somewhat off, please let me know, Europe. Alright, we got.
Round two. Ready,
So we got 8th person also joining. The Europe Nova. Let's see, let me go post them on people's channels here. The main thing of these is organization purposes is get as many people as possible to play together as a group and encourage people to stream from their own point of views.
ready, go!
That was not what I wanted. I think my web browser froze. Let's see. Let's try it again. Alright, so you will watch Chan Chat is streaming from the own player's point of view. Sasuna playing Akira. And we have Bushido. Fathers his second child this last week or so. Streaming playing is he playing Akira? Playing Taka? And we will get to see all Jan Whipper matches. I think I got everyone here that is streaming from their point of view. And we're gonna begin the Europe room now.
Round one.
8 players.
Ready, go!
Status here. Open 12A. Do the game freeze?
Round two. Ready, go!
Hey, Europe is the room. Has it frozen? Then you just stop it and redo it. Alright, let's see. Looks like Lusty has some technical issues. Ah, I see, okay.
Round three. Ready, go!
Still 7 rounds total. Forgot to. I should air your vote down. Wait.
Round four. Ready, go!
Alright. So we completed the Europe PSN with Kanwan. After I'll do a second double check on these records, but Kanwan is the league leader for the second quarter. Away player from France.
Knockout.
And then for the North American team, we have Chan Chai leading it. And he's in position to take it the top leader spot for this PSN league too. And we have right now Jaren Ripper and Bushido as the only ones undefeated so far. And so for we still have Nieru playing against Nova, Raging Mars against Agent Cube. Currently leading in the Europe Steam League is Raging Mars. Him picks Mr. and DX are all kind of similar in that region. Not similar at the Leo spots. Still have Raging Mars versus Agent Q. Who for over a year was playing John only in the Akai leagues because he made a promise to himself that he would not play any other characters until he win in Akai league. And, he did that earlier this year, and so he's now playing two characters. Alright, it's working now. We get to have Mr. versus Goofy. So if you miss out on another DC, that's unfortunate. Are you guys all still in it? Everyone's still in here. Okay. Just incompatible connection between two players. Evade into the cancel into a shoulder ram. Oh! That little backdash just looks so cool. Boy, yeah. Was that elbow Bianca? I can't wait to see my fight. It did look cool, even though Jaren will be lost at that round. Round 5. Alright, Jaren River remains undefeated. Get to see Mr. here play against, this is the first time I see Goofy. Now Jaren River will play against Bushido, which both of these are the undefeated players in the league right now, so one day will be remains undefeated here. RJ here still playing against Nova. Let's put this on to what is happening.
Ready, go!
I drew a 6 player, so yeah, you could see Sustenance match on his channel. To Assessor, or Chanchai's match on his channel, Chanchai_VF. And of course, Bushido is also streaming. And on the Europe side, going to round 3. And with Mr. currently Mr. and Raging Mars currently undefeated. See Mr. play against the Nieru now. Neutral throw.
Knockout!
I wonder is the time for the amount of time it takes for the duel to complete itself has also changed a lot.
Knockout.
2 match points for Bushido.
Round 4. Ready, go! Knockout.
Bushido is currently the leader of this first league. I think with one more match to go. Mr. has a 1 round ahead of Mieru. RJ still playing against Cessna. So Bushido will be playing against J-Thor. Whipper against RJ, and then my 2 co-hosts are going to play against each other after this matchup between Cessna and RJ. AJ Mars still playing against Goofy, Nova against him Pixa, that's been completed. Mr. remains undefeated, Raging Mars. Raging Mars wins, so we still have both Mr. and Raging Mars remaining undefeated. With Mr. still leading by +1 round. But we will actually have Raging Mars versus Mr. now. General Booper will be playing against RJ. That is the final round for the North America League, and then we should be open up again in about a couple of minutes.
Round 1. Ready, go!
Currently, Raging Mars is leading the Europe Steam League room for the second quarter with 6 first place finishes. Mr. right now currently at 4th place with 4 first place finishes. So I think winning this will pretty much put Raging Mars at the clinching it, possibly. So it's now 1-1.
Round 3. Ready, go! Round 3. Ready, go! Knockout.
Alright, 2 match points for Mr. here.
Round 4. Ready, go! Knockout.
Alright, and Mr. is now the leader of this league. Is leading this league. Wesley joined back. Welcome back. We should have about 3 more rounds before this league ends. Right now, Mr. is leading with Raging Mars, and Himpix are both with just 1 loss each. Himpix with second and third right now. First is Raging Mars, second is DX, third Himpixa, fourth Mr. You can see Mr. versus Agent Q from France. Let's go back to the PSN here. That's completed. forgot to mute myself on the Discord group. Apologies. All right, so
Congratulations.
Bushido, let's go ahead.
Go ahead.
Oh, congratulations, Bushido, for getting first. Second place goes to Giant Whipper, and third goes to Cessna. Thank you guys for playing, and we'll do 2 more leagues.
Awesome run. General Whipper and Bushido, amazing stuff. And I am just trying to wake up. But everyone's fighting awesome. Keep it up. This is really great.
Round 2. Ready, go! Round 1. Ready, go!
The Kira makes me hesitate so much. I think I'm buffering, but I'm still really. Oh, what the hell? It's really good though. I need to respond to dashing elbow faster, but it's really good. It's a good experience, good to see. Because I was pretty sure dashing elbow is -2 on side guard, and it is. But I was like, why did my low punch lose? You know, but it's because you're slow.
Round 3.
I'm slow. But it's also the power of Setsuna's excellent use of 4 PKG, because it's making you afraid to use stuff like you can just use that like regular elbow, and that's actually what I need to do, is just use regular elbow, but because it still wins at +2. You just have to really buffer it. In that case, dashing elbow comes at you fast. Awesome. Bushido's playing with the Akira right now. Excellent stuff. But I really like fighting their talk. I like everything they showed. Really awesome talk. And playing like a lot of different speeds today, which I like very much.
Alright, after this match, we'll start the 5-match countdown. I'm going to take a step back from the keyboard, so if you guys can help me keep track a little bit, that'd be great.
Sure.
Thank you.
So after one start 5.
Yeah, after this match. Thank you.
Gotta punish that.
Round 1. Ready, go!
Alright. Here we've got Bushido's Akira. And a very strong Akira for a while, but I haven't seen it in a while. Let's see it.
Ring out!
What is today's VF tip of the day? I don't know, there's lots of tips to give.
Ready, go!
Ask me a question, I'll give a tip that I can. I'll give the best tip I can. But let's see here. Hey Spartan, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Congratulations on a good run yesterday as well. Let's see here. How do you beat Kingo? You got to be really good at BF, but you also have to reverse read it. Like Kingo has good young read. That's why Kingo's final showdown Aoi is very scary. So you have to outplay Kingo, and Kingo's very smart. Sometimes you have to outplay yourself because you've got to understand that he's reading you. That's where we get into a certain type of BF. That is like, for many, it's the best type of BF, right? So for a lot of people, the best type of BF is one where you're very interactive, you're reading your opponent and they're reading you. And against Kingo, it's you got to read them reading you. But it's really scary because Kingo is really good at being a step ahead of a lot of people. He's very, very good at it. That said, um, so you know,
Round one.
the answer is you got to get really damn good to beat Kigo. Now I don't know how strong you already are, Skiddies, but that's the only answer to that. Well, thank you very much, Spartan. I had a good run. I had two really good runs. You know, of course, we always wish we did better, but I am proud of the run, and I had a great time.
Round two.
It is like high level. It does get to be like high level chess. I do think VF really does end up being like high level Go. It's what I love about VF actually, because of the option space. It's like that. I think when I play, my impression is Tekken is a lot like the chess. That was a good battle, Kushida. So you know, and the reason is because
Round three.
in VF,
Ready.
because of the way the options work and because there's answers to everything, what you threaten is going to influence like how your opponent. It may or may not influence how your opponent plays, and you have to respond to how you think they're going to play. You know, or you can just outplay them or try to do that, but a lot of times you really want to think of the position and everything else. Yeah, Go's an amazing board game. To me, it's one of the greatest games of all time, and Virtua Fighter is too. I'm out. So out. All right. Let's see if I can wake up a little bit, even though I was chatting. But I enjoyed the chat. I actually still need to chat. I see. It's weird that he went with like. It's weird that he went with that option. Wrong way.
Round five. Ready. Go.
I thought he just whiffed. And I almost.
Alright, back really quickly to just get this Europe League room completed. Apologies, Marco. I hopefully your monitor you get a new monitor soon. Congratulations, Mister, for getting first place. Him fixes made a little bit tougher, giving Mister his first loss. Then Pixis second, Waging Mars third. Thank you guys for playing. We'll have 2 more leagues, so if you can continue playing, please do so. Room is open again, so please join if you can. Here, Michelle. I'll be back. And how many more matches before we begin the North America room?
4 more.
4 more.
Well,
Okay.
Like this was 1, 2, no, 3 after this one.
Okay.
All right, good game, good game.
All right. I'll be back in a couple minutes.
All right. Setsuno, you want to check if your mic is on mute?
It is not on mute. I'm just.
I was like, I hadn't heard you like Setsuno this whole time.
No, I'm just trying to work out some kinks with situations that at work, and it's just it's a broken telephone.
I see. So,
Yeah, so many people have got their hands in the mix. It's just.
So, well, Mister, thank you very much. They said good games, fellas. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. Also, RJ asked, there should be some version of Go on the consoles or PC, right? Yes. Well, in Asia, they're on console. But in the US, you can play Go on your phone. You can play Go on PC very easily. And actually, there's a good tutorial called The Interactive Way to Go. And the interactive way to go is a really good interactive tutorial, which is the best way to learn Go. Because a lot of times, if you just read the rule book, I found that Westerners, specifically Westerners, have a little bit of a hard time because of the inquiry process. Because they'll try to understand the win condition before playing a game. And Go's a game where when you play it, it'll make sense. So, for example, the main thing is that somebody would be like, okay, so the game ends when both players pass. When do I pass? And the answer is, when you play the game, there'll come a point where you realize that any move you make is just gonna make you lose score. Like you'll know it, but you have to play it to see it. If you're trying to picture it before you play it, you won't see it. But as you play, you'll go, oh, this would just be dumb if I kept playing in my own territory. And if I play in their territory, I'm just gonna lose. Like it's just gonna be a dead stone. I'm gonna give them one. So because of that, you'll know when you need to pass, and your opponent will, and it'll be the same time for your opponent too when that happens. So like the game does actually end, like because both players pass. But yeah, it's an awesome game of territory, and you got to be strategically flexible and Go and tactical. But it's to me, it's like one of the greatest games.
So this will
Yeah,
be
trick you. 1 a.m. Go ahead. Two
two more matches, then, right? Okay. Thank you.
So Subterran said found Tricky and ranked at 1 a.m. Yeah, Tricky is definitely on this like revenge return arc, and it's awesome. It is really good. It's good determination. I think it's good content too, and it's just it's exciting. Silverball said that Go is very confusing. It is if you have someone to play with, it's easier to teach. So VF is kind of similar to where when you explain it kind of sounds like a lot. When you play it, if you play it with somebody, if you interactively play with it, you'll get a much better sense of it. So this is a challenge in game design too. How to make is intuitive, something that's more intuitive right away versus something logical, right? Go is logical, but because Go is like very logical, it actually means it's less intuitive. So certain logic types. That's also these games tend to draw introverts for the same goal, right? Introverts are like they like the logic, but they get upset about the tangibility. You know.
Yeah, so for those who haven't been keeping up today, last qualifier we have Yuki, Koenraku, Sho, and KNR reaching the regional qualifiers for North America, which will be 2 weeks from now. Then we joined by Hima, Gentleman Thief, Denkai, and Crazy Drunk. Yeah, I'm not sure, is it a single elimination or double elimination format? But
I have my speculation is they're probably going to use the same exact format they used for top 8, which is double elimination.
yeah,
But in this case, the bottom 4 are probably coming from the loser's position. So meaning like the top 2 players, number 1 and number 2 from the first week, and number 1 and number 2 from this week, are going to be filling in basically a winner.
no, I think from what I saw,
Go ahead.
I think what I saw earlier is that number 1 from the first qualifier will play against number 4 on the second qualifier. So it will be Hima versus KNR and so forth. But I don't know if it's single elimination or double elimination.
That sounds like a double elimination. Sounds like they're playing a real double elimination 8-man bracket, which is good. That's good. And but they're doing it within 1 versus 4, 2 versus 3, maybe, and then 1 versus 4, 2 versus 3 also, maybe. So that works. Very interesting though.
All right, we got Waybrave joining. Welcome, Waybrave. And we have just one more match before we get the North America League room.
Very awesome to have everyone here. Really glad got Kung Fu Hustle has joined us as well. And Hernan, good to see you as well. So
Ghost.
Marley, yeah. Well, Ghost, interesting. Yeah, 2K plus G is an interesting one. I also like Ghost his ankle kicks, right? -7, -7, and they hard counter certain folks. It's really good. But it is funny when you do call it out. So when you do beat it. Tumas, thank you very much for the support. Thanks for the compliments. Really enjoyed the event. It was very stressful as hell, but it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, so first place versus fourth place, second place versus third place.
Round 3.
Oh.
Ready, go.
Okay, good. So I'm glad they got the format already. Too bad, like, if there was time, I wish they could, I wish they could do like a Swiss, but Swiss would take forever. So either it'd be unsatisfying or it'd be taking forever. But Swiss would have been so cool.
Knockout.
Swiss is where you divide the players into 2 blocks of round robin, and then that seeds a playoff. But that format, like, you either cut a lot of matches that people won't be able to see, or it takes too long to cover the whole thing. It's better when you have like 4 to 6 players, but still, it's cool. But that sounds like a good format. Sounds like it's going to be a good maybe 2.5 hours of action, of having the top 8. What sounds like it's going to be a double elimination.
Yeah, I'm not seeing if it's mentioned if it's single or double elimination. That's
If it's single elimination, it'll be half an hour. Just kidding. It'll be like
unless they stream every match.
Yeah, but they probably will stream every match, so it'll be cool. It's gonna be July 12th, as a reminder. I had mistaken it for being on July 5th. I don't know why I thought that, but it's July 12th. But yeah, like
My guess it will be double elimination because on the tournament format, all tournaments are double elimination. So even I guess, yeah, and I think it would be a best of 5 also. So it's a double elimination best of 5. For the
got one more game, I think.
usual call. Oh, we're gonna begin now. You like that?
Oh, good luck,
I'm
have
too
fun.
slow.
Okay, like I said, one more game. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll start after this. I was a little too slow. I was too busy reading the rules here. Alright, we have 2 more matches remaining for the Europe Steam League before we start the second league.
Yeah, Beyblade, it's going to be a double elimination, so there's no starting on the loser side. There's, in this case, it'll be 8 players in a full double elimination.
Yeah, I think it's also gonna be first to 3. Also,
good.
so it's gonna be a long, regional
Yeah,
finals.
this will probably take about 3 hours, but it'll be really good.
Unless they're not planning to stream every match. Well, if they're
I
planning to
think-
stream every match, they're gonna be.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, Beyblade. I think it's the best way to do it. I think it's the best way to get a lot of matches on to show as much as possible, while also running at a good speed, like finishing within 3 hours. So, yeah, I think they're gonna stream every match because of this format. Yep, I agree, Ray.
Round 3. Ready, go.
Setsun, are you still on mute? No. I'm just teasing him. He's working on stuff. I'm just having fun talking at Setsun.
So while we wait 2 weeks for the regional online qualifier for North America, next weekend will be the Japan, the Asia offline qualifier. And I know that there's one Korean player and one Chinese player be participating, and so it's glad to see that. Okay. All right, let's go press it before they start. Oh my gosh! Why you guys press?
Good luck. Have fun.
Oh, I think I got it before he's okay. Alright, good luck guys. 9 players. We got one more match before we begin. Oh, thanks for playing, Agent Q. We got Makuma's here, so one more match before we begin.
Round 1. Ready, go!
9 rounds. Let me just mute myself in here. Open. Bulky.
Round 2. Ready, go!
If you can take the beating, I think it'll be a good experience if you have a goal to try to improve. Because then now you'll be having at least 5 matches against people, which you could go look at the replays to troubleshoot. I think it's one of the best features that they add into Revo. The first best thing was the Ultimate Showdown was the League mode, and the second best thing is well, the next best thing they did, excuse me, was adding the replay mode, frame by frame input display, and then being able to control either player's side, so you can finesse and troubleshoot.
Round 4. Ready,
Yeah. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. Makumazan. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that name correctly. Makumazan.
knockout! Round 5. Ready, go! Excellent!
All right, we got 8% join back. For those who's not familiar with these leagues, think of this as your like a local venue. I'm hosting 3 leagues per session, so that basically, if you can come in at the very beginning, you can play in all 3 leagues. But if you're short on time, you can just play one single league. Or if you show up late, you can play in the next leagues or so. So the idea is just make this as easy as possible for people to come and participate.
Round 1. Ready,
All right, we're just gonna give another one more match before we begin because I think Goofy will want to join.
knockout! Round 2. Ready, go!
All right, Goofy join back in, and we'll start after this. So again, if you want to participate in all the leagues, it's more than welcome to. That's the idea, is just get as many people to play as possible without the too much overhead of saying what people can and cannot do. The main rules are you have to be living in the region in which these leagues are intended for, and with a wire connection, so that we don't have to have. There's always a lot of netcode issues here and there, but we try to limit it by having everyone on wire connection.
Round 4. Ready, go!
And once I get that started, I will exit to take care of some stuff. Seven players, I think. That should be about 21 to 26 minutes.
Mission accomplished.
And more people join the room, more matches everyone gets. It doesn't matter if you're the strongest player in the world or you're just starting out. Room can hold up to 16 players. If you want to play, and just room, join. Alright, let's see. With here we have Bushido, Jan Whipper currently leading. Oh, something wrong with him picks controls. Okay, it's working now. Alright, let's go. This is open trophy also. Alright, both leagues are going right now. Let's start early. I'm going now to secure some stuff in the house and I'll be back. Hopefully nothing's going to happen while I'm gone. Let me just do my usual. It most likely doesn't really help with anything, but it's making me feel a little bit better just to just use it. Alright, I'll be back in 10 to 15 minutes.
Ready, go! Knockout! Round 3. Ready, go! Round 3. Ready, go! Ring out! Round 4. Ready, go! Round 1. Excellent. Go! Knockout! Round 2. Ready, go! Round 1. Ready, go! Knockout! Round 2. Ready, go! Round 4. Ready, go! Knockout! Round 3. Ready, go! Knockout! Knockout! Round 1. Ready, go! Knockout! Round 1. Ready, go! Round 2. Ready, go! Knockout! Knockout! Round 3. Round 2. Ready, go! Knockout! Round 3. Knockout. Ready, go! Round 4. Ready, go! Ring out! Round 4. Ready, go! Knockout! Knockout. Round 2. Round 3. Ready, go! Knockout! Knockout! Round 3, round 4. Ready, go! Excellent! Round 5. Knockout! Ready, go!
See? I thought I'm better.
Knockout! Round 1. Ready, go! Knockout! Round 1. Ready, go! Round 2. Ready, go! Excellent! Round 2. Knockout! Go! Round 3. Ready, go! Knockout! Round 3. Ready, go!
この強さが欲しかったのだ。
Knockout! Round one. Ready, go! Knockout! Round two. Ready, go! Knockout! Round three. Ready, go! Knockout! Round two. Ready, go! Excellent! Round four. Ready, go! Knockout! Round three. Ready, go! Knockout! Round five. Ready, go! Knockout!
この強さが欲しかったのだ。
Round one. Ready, go! Round one. Ready, go!
All right, I'm back. Let's see. We get Giant Whipper versus RJ or Pixel versus Nova. Let's see.
Excellent!
Let's go since one round there. Let's go put on the
Knockout! Round two. Ready,
PSN. I think both is about. This is the last round for both leagues. This is the second league for both North America PSN and Europe Steam, and we'll have one more league after this for both regions, and that should conclude the second quarter. And we'll do a reset the leaderboards for the third quarter, and we'll still continue running as is PSN leagues and Steam leagues. And once cosplay comes out, we'll transition toward just having a single Europe League and a single North America League.
round three. Ready,
So those who are still just on the PlayStation 4, apologies. I don't think they will be having an level update for a PlayStation 4 version of the game. It's going to be for PlayStation 5, Xbox Series XS, and Nintendo Switch 2
round four.
and Steam.
Ready, go!
that should be it. Oh, missed combo. So Jen wins there to see what is the results here. And Chan Chai and Bushido 6 wins, 2 losses. Jan Whipper, they will be the winner of this second league. So congratulations, Jan Whipper, for getting first place. Chan Chai second, and third place is Bushido just by +1 round. Thank you guys for playing. Let me do that. Let's switch this over to Steam side. So congratulations to him Pixel for winning the second league today, Nova second, and Raging Mars third. Get this out here. Thanks for playing, Bushido. Room is open again for the PSN room. And we will do one more league for both regions. Thanks for playing, Raging Mars. And then we go post one, let people know you can join in. Signa, you should be able to join if you're in the... Are you PSN? If not, PSN room is already open, so you could join. And Europe League room is also open. Information is on the bottom of the screen. And we go post one, let people know he's joining for both leagues. And there should be a tournament soon for the South America VFers, which I believe Team Chris and Cessna will help be commentating with Soy Akai.
Yes.
Oh, there you are. Yeah. What time does it begin? Does it begin in an hour or?
No, 4 p.m.
4 p.m. Oh, so 4 p.m. Eastern time. So that'd be 20 minutes. 20 minutes.
Isn't Rayblade in Hawaii?
Weibo is Hawaii. Yes. What's the connection to you?
Weird.
Sound weird. It's a pretty far distance. Yes, Steam is Europe today, SC Signia. If you're interested in participating in North America Steam, that will be on Saturdays. Alright, then we go post one, let people know they can join both rooms. Okay.
All right, I'm gonna take off to help Team Chris, and I'll hopefully see you guys on that side.
Okay, awesome. Good luck,
All right.
and take care, Setsuna. That's awesome.
Yeah, good games, guys.
Thanks.
Good game.
Thanks for always being here. Alright. So there is a South America tournament, Defensores Virtuosos, I think is how you pronounce it. Apologies if I slaughtered that pronunciation. And that'll be on Soy El Kai's channel.
I like how Rayblade's always been developing. It's really good. Springlog says, what is your recommendation for percent of the time spent doing different VF-related activities? Percent, for example, percent playing strong opponents, weak opponents, replay analysis matchup. This is really up to you. You know, it's up to you, a combination of things. You want to either set, okay, so maybe you set some hard goals and some soft goals. I would recommend most of them being soft goals, to be honest, and only just a couple hard goals. But it's, so goal setting is one part of this. Motivation is the other. You have to work with yourself. You have to try to understand yourself, but also try to push yourself a little too, right? You know, most kids get annoyed at their parents, but a lot of times those parents are providing a push that is often needed. And so you have to do that to yourself when you're training yourself. Sometimes you have to push a little past comfort, but then at the same time allow yourself to enjoy the process too, and enjoy at least the resting. So goal setting is going to be a big factor, and then understanding yourself is the other factor. So I can't tell you the exact percentages because it's really up to you. But I can tell you that I'm pretty sure that the answer lies in understanding those two things at a minimum, and then there's other factors too, like real life. Right? You don't want VF to be detrimental to your life, right? If you make the VF detrimental to your life, then you're forced to choose. So if I make VF detrimental to my family life, I'm gonna be forced to choose at some point, and family will be the choice. So you always have to factor those things in. But in life, you can usually push a little bit because some things can give a little, but sometimes there's a give and take. So sometimes you're gonna have to reprioritize and put the other things in, and make your VF the thing that is sacrificed a bit too. Because we're just human beings trying to live. Yeah. So I will say this: if you're single, or even if you're a couple, or even if you're married without children, you have a lot more. You have a lot of time because you have a lot of more control in your life. Once you have children, you have less control in your life because you're working around a lot, and because it's not like you can't reason your way out of responsibilities. You know, you could, but you'd be the biggest jerk in the world, and you'd probably have other problems with you. But if you really care, and most people, I'd say 95% of people, love their children more than they love themselves. There's about 5%, 1 in 20, that is probably would love themselves more than their children. And that's not a wrong thing, because maybe those people's, destiny is to be a bit more ambitious and to do certain other things. But fortunately, I think 19 out of 20 love their children more than themselves, and it becomes a huge motivating factor in life. But also, and that actually drives them to do better, but not necessarily better at one job, just better at life. But I'm not saying people with children are better at life. I'm just saying it becomes a huge motivating factor to try to get better at life. So.
Yeah, so definitely I think the most healthy way is learning and playing the game. Priority number one is having fun. That would be the healthiest way. And then whatever method that you're having fun, being proactively trying to find ways to improve. There's not one single way. Um, but it's definitely much more healthier if you're happy learning than playing frustrated. It'll be less stressful. But some people do work on stress, so.
But we're in this amazing time where if you do network, you have online opponents. You will, and because of that, you can manage it. You can have your fun time, right? We do have one of the most competitive players in the country, but his life doesn't accommodate him participating in like the NA qualifiers or in tournaments anymore. But he's ridiculously strong, and he's managing life. But he's enjoying VF, and he's playing insanely strong opponents that makes him happy. So that's his happy balance, right? But if people ask me, to make like a list of the top players, he's in there. So yeah. So there's stuff like that. Each person has to manage their situation.
Oh, who are you referring to, Chanchai?
I don't want to name names, but no.
What's with this like half answers?
There's a lot of players.
Okay.
Right? There's a lot of players that like they've had to make a choice. Even players that really, really wanted the sport. Even people that everybody wants to be more supportive. Like one of those players would be Dennis O'Toole. Dennis O'Toole is ridiculously strong, and if they were focused on being competitive, they would be amazing. They'd be one of the best players in the country, and they still are. But at the same time, they've got their priorities, and I think it's awesome that they got their priorities, and they're still playing a lot of BF, just at the hours that they can and when they can. Rodney is same thing, right? Rodney is one of the strongest players in the country. He's another player that I'd list, right? And he's playing BF a lot now, right? He got a freaking he got a Kwamba 2009 desk. You
Oh,
know?
did he?
He
Wow.
did. He splurged. He admitted that he's gonna splurge, right?
That
So
I've been checking once in every month or two. It's like, is there a discount? No,
yeah.
no.
Round one.
So Rodness is playing ranked, you know, and he's definitely the first guy that's gonna complain about ranked, but he's really strong, but family first, you know. So Spartan, you're asking, do I know of any other upcoming tournaments? There's a few. There's a few tournaments, but I couldn't tell you. But look it up. Check the social medias. There's tournaments. There's not like a ton, but high-profile tournaments. I mean, Evo is the really big one, right? So yeah.
For North America or Europe, or was he asking for
Or
about online?
we're North America. Yeah.
North America? Yeah, it'll be
Yeah.
Evo Las Vegas.
Yeah.
2 weeks from now is the regional finals for North America. So the 8 players that qualified from the last 2 weekends will be participating in that. They all guarantee some prize money. I think the prize pool was $2,500.
Yeah. That's what I heard. Yeah.
Um, and I did ask TNS for confirmation, and he's going to get back to us on if it truly is a double elimination event. Oh yeah, there's tournaments in Europe. Salty EU does it weekly on Fridays.
Yeah.
A double elimination tournament online.
Those
There's
tournaments.
yeah. This Makumazan's asking about Europe. Thursday evenings there's league play by King Car. Leslie should be getting back to doing monthlies. But yeah, there's stuff that happening in Europe. We just need to spread the information as much as possible so people is not offline. I think people are planning to do something at Nice. I'm not sure if that's going to happen, but the biggest event will be versus fighting. The
Yeah,
UK has a
that's-
monthly tournaments, offline tournaments. Someone named Mr. Morden has been posting on BFDC offline tournaments in I think Southern England or Southern London. I apologize, I'm horrible with geography, so
I
especially
want
if
to
it's not.
Subterum says that Defend the North Retro in New York. That's July 11th through 13th. Same weekend that we're watching the finals of the first North America online qualifiers. So July 11th through 13th is going to have in New York, and it looks like Arcade Brooklyn is going to have Defend the North Retro. It's a retro fighting game focused tournament, but they will have VF. So New York's got a tournament coming up in 2 weeks.
Yeah, I had to look up the date for the versus fighting tournament. Why not? Why not the France Nice tournament at Evo France? I don't think there's just side tournament for that yet, but I think people are trying to get something going for the Evo Nice.
There are people there. Havoc is definitely going to be there. He's committed, saying he's going to be there. So I think they're going to form it, but it takes work. So shout outs to all the Europeans. Please make that work. Please push. It needs your efforts because that will be.
So let's see, where's the Bow in the South in Portsmouth, UK? I'm just posting things that I saw on BFDC. That's the next. There's an offline tournament there, organized by Mr. Morden. And let's go to the BFOC stuff. And those who didn't get to qualify or participate in the North America online qualifiers, North America is lucky. They get to do another one in November. So if you missed out on this qualifiers, you can try again in November.
Yeah. It's gonna be
versus
it's gonna be-
fighting. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Versus fighting. And this is the last match before we begin the North America room. Versus fighting, which is the BFOC qualifier for Europe, will be the August 15th to 17th. That's in Birmingham, UK. The versus fighting 13th.
So am I misunderstanding Akai, or am I the unified North America Akai Leagues champion this season?
I think so. Yes, you're the first one to be leader for both Steam and PSN.
Woohoo!
I think,
Yay!
and since multi-platform is coming soon, you might be the only one, but we still have one more quarter most likely. So,
So, yeah, that's true. Well, no, it's gonna be you're gonna call it the reunified cup or the reunification cup. You know.
uh,
The
but yeah,
cosplay.
So we're hoping to, we'll keep the same format for the most part. Means have a room as many people could come and play together, and make it as easy as possible to participate. And yes, there's going to be issues with netcode and stuff, games freezing and stuff like that, disconnecting from the room. But as you can see, we host 3 leagues per session. Do it basically every single weekend. So lots of chances to just participate and play. But I do still want to do some type of championship at the end of each quarter. Since not everyone can participate all at the same time, amount of time. And I think it'll be kind of fun way to conclude the quarter. But we'll see. I think to do that, I will need most likely help. As you can see, I'm not usually here for non-stop for 3 hours. I kind of go in and out a lot during the stream. And so the leave format actually has been useful for me because I could easily just leave the stream. I was actually thinking if the Nintendo Switch is quite small, that'd be much more convenient to use that to stream than a PlayStation 5, since I have to move things out. Alright guys, we're gonna begin the last league. Good luck and have fun.
Good luck, have fun.
Alright, this is also the last intermission match before we start the last league for Europe.
Knockout. Round 2. Ready, go!
And yeah, the Birmingham, I'm not sure where the additional information for Birmingham is, but on that information that is on virtualfire.com is in the Open Championship thread. Alright, got 6 players and 7 players for 6 for Europe, 7 for North America.
Round 4. Ready, go! Knockout. Round 3. Ready, go!
Alright, Ray Boy is playing away. That. Yeah, I think there. I feel like there's a lot of events that happens. Um, it might not be large in scale and size, but there are events that happen, but it's not publicized. Well, and so then there becomes then a perception that activity is low. Um, Sometimes hard to quantify, but everyone has a different opinion of what is considered low um, activity rate, and so um, alright, I am going to quickly do something in the house, get a snack. So I'll just leave it on both screens like this. But instead of caring how much offline or online events there are, I just host and whatever is actually being done, just continue to support as much as possible. So I've already committed to doing weekend sessions. Definitely for at least the third quarter, definitely continue doing as is for both Europe and North America. Pretty much after end of every quarter, I just kind of check to see what is what's in the best interest for myself and for the community. And even if just 4 people show up consistently, then I continue hosting. But definitely, best way for these things to happen is if there is feedback, even if it's negative, share it. And if there's a way to improve on it or to make it better, feasibly, then I'm more than willing to try. Alright, I am going to step back for a bit. Be right back.
You know what you're getting yourself into.
Round 1. Ready, go! Round 1. Ready, go! Round 2. Ready, go! Round 2. Ready, knockout! Knockout! Round 3, go! Ready, go! Excellent! Knockout! Round 4, ready, go!
Alright, I'm back.
Round
We have
one. Ready?
2 more rounds remaining for Europe, with Edva currently undefeated, and Nova and Agent Cube with just 1 loss. And it'll be Niebu versus Goofy, who's playing Vanessa this time. And we have J-Door versus RJ on the PSN side. Both regulars.
Knockout.
I like to imagine this as your local online gaming center or venue. You have the regulars showing up, and some people just walking by, CA, and then walking by as they watching the stream, going by the stream by accident or on purpose. So streaming is a nice way to just get people to see that people are gathering together to play and participate. And hopefully we get them to participate.
Ready? Go.
There's 3 match points. We get 2 match points now.
Round 4. Ready? Go. Round 4. Ready? Go. Knockout.
And that's
Round 5. Ready? Go.
4th round. So 2 more matches, 2 more rounds remain. Chancha and Jen Ripper currently undefeated. And we will have Kung Fu Hustle versus Silverbolt. Both know each other and live close by to each other. Playing on this my stream. We watch Chanchai versus Jen Ripper on Chanchai stream. As that will be a match determining who will remain undefeated. Need everyone that match. Go put this on PSN. Go. So I'm gonna have to set the parameters for the stream. It's not 2,000 hits. So Nier versus Agent Cube on the Europe stream. Kung Fu Hustle versus Silverbolt on the PSN North America. Jen Whipper has 1 round in front of Chanchai. Chanchai has a health lead for the 2nd round. Was that wing out? Yeah, wing out. 3 match points for Jen Whipper. 1-1 between the fellow Chicago players. Silverbolt and Kung Fu Hustle. 3 match points for Agent Cube, playing Brad.
Round 4. Ready? Go.
And Jen Whipper remains undefeated. And the league match is finished for this team, so let's go put that here. So congratulations to Eva playing Jeffrey for getting 1st place, Agent Cube getting 2nd with Brad, and Nova Getting third place with Sarah. Thank you guys for playing. Really appreciate it. That is it for this quarter. It's another quarter, and we have the 8th quarter for Europe starting next weekend. And so we're almost near the 2-year anniversary of running these leagues for Europe. Thank you again, guys, for playing. You guys want to continue playing the room? Please do so. I'm going to put this back on PSN as they still have one more match or so. So usually a lot of times after the actual league session is completed, yes, that was the last league. People usually stays afterwards to continue playing in the room. So I'll just leave the room up until people start playing. Alright, we're in the final league. Wade gets a bye in this one. Jan Whipper is in the driver's seat. Plays against... Oh, there's 2 rounds still. 2 more rounds remain. My apologies. Jan will have his last match against Jay Thor. Yeah, definitely come play if you guys want to. And if there's a lot of people remaining after the 3 leagues completed, I could always just hit the league button so people don't have a long wait time. Because the focus has always been just to get people to get together and play. The leagues itself is more versus it's a little negative way I think it's more of a gimmick so that to get people to play. Because it's a nice feature of getting a lot of people in the same room and with little wait time when you run it as a simultaneous play. All the other things, keeping track of stats and stuff, is all just make it a little bit more interesting for the participants. And so I think since both Waging Mars, Mr. and Himpixa and DX they participate in these last leaguers, so I believe Waging Mars is the leader of the 2nd quarter. Maybe Himpixa is there. I have to check though. Yeah, Mr. was participating in the 1st league, and we have AJ Mars and Hitpixa in both the 1st and 2nd league. But I hope once crossplay do happen, the divide between different systems will make it that we can get a lot of people together and play. Alright, Chanter win his match there. Oh, Blood Artist joined the wheel. Was he in the last league? I wasn't even paying attention. I think he joined right before after I started the league. Apologies, Blood Artist, if you want to play. It's been the last league. Yeah, I started before you joined. Alright, 6 matches. So we have one more round. RJ's playing against Silverbolt. This is for Oh, look at that. Agent Q is playing John. He has played the most Akai leagues with John, but I think that's a secondary character. Alright, we're in the final league, final round. RJ will versus Chanchai on my stream. Jan Whipper sits with his second first place finish today. So finish going quite well the second quarter. With majority of the players moving on to the Steam Revel version of the game. The PSN side definitely has less players, a lot less players, but we still get a very consistent group of people showing up to play. And so with the 2 first place finishes, Jan Whipper concludes the second quarter with 6 first place finishes. Oh, I forgot to just put this on the PSN side. Says that is the actual league play. I know in July there's most like a weekend or two in which there will be no session as I have family coming to visit. So we busy with once a year family reunion. At worst, it might be 3 weekends, but I have to see Man, we got another group of relatives visiting, but I'm not sure when exactly they're visiting. So. But definitely next weekend, I'll be hosting the first week of the third quarter. Somewhere well in there.
What a knucklehead.
Round one. Ready, go!
Alright, congratulations, Jan Ripper, for getting his second first place finish today. Chancha getting second, and Ray Bray getting third with Aoi. Thank you for playing. That concludes the second quarter of 2025. We'll reset the leaderboard for the third quarter. Continue playing the wheel if you want.
Who took the first league again? I am so tired I can't remember who took the
First
league.
league to the was Bushido.
Okay, Bushido,
Bushido.
yes. Hey, Bushido got it. So Bushido, congratulations. Ripper, congratulations too. Oh, we gotta fight. I need to wake up at least a little. Ripper is really the problem is you gotta think when you fight Ripper. And so this is a fun recovery day.
It's also I think I feel that the most challenging is playing different players using the same character.
Yeah.
So for me, when I play rank, one of the characters that is used a lot by a lot of the top players is Sarah. There's Black Star, Black Alert, Bodimon, Dark Nova, and I'm mostly missing a few more, but everyone has their own little unique differences, and it makes it kind of difficult to play and adjust. And there seems to be a lot of Kage players that's getting more recognized now. Jan Weber has always been a solid player.
Yes.
Live Forever when he does play Kage. And then we have Volcano Shed, Koren Waku, and Cho. Some of those strong Kage players in North America.
Yeah. Well, Live for Eve was definitely somebody I thought was possibly going to take it all. So I'm glad that I got away with it. But still, Live for Eve played. I'm looking forward to them playing in next season. But I'm also looking forward to them playing when we have crossplay as well.
Yeah, I'm looking forward. Hopefully, very non-buggy cosplay that allow us to efficiently run sessions.
We will see how the month of crossplay will be like.
I don't want to keep just praying to some fake Necro spares, hoping that nothing's gonna happen. And also, I didn't mention this yet. The Virtual Fire circuit, something that I started up in the past, a dozen years ago for Fire Showdown, has been revived by Mike on BFDC, and he ran his first tournament for Oceania region this past Friday. The one who won it was HS Boy JKH, a longtime sparring partner of Mike, who used a variety of opponents. Not use a variety of characters. Sega has been nice to provide in-game titles to those who for the VF circuit. And there should be one for North America and Europe Um, the exact date and stuff for those are to be determined. But I do think Sega is reaching out a lot to the community. So hopefully you might not see it maybe in a month or so, but I think in the next several months or so you'll see more collaborations of our community with Sega, I think, based on how some talks here and there from the people who has had discussions with Sega. That's not under NDA. That's the fun thing. Every time someone mentions like their discussions with Sega, my first question is this NDA or not NDA?
Round 3. Ready, go!
Alright, so the Rock Reaper asks, I need you all to have a Ratatouille moment back to the first time you played fighting games. So he's asking about the first time you played fighting games. You want to start?
My first time I played fighting games, it was at my second cousin's house, Street Fighter 2. Unless you consider Kwati as a
Karate Champ, right?
if you consider the Atari Karate Champ, I forgot the actual name of it.
Yeah, it's Karate Champ. Or Karate
It's Karate Champ. If you consider that as a fighting game, then that'd be my first experience,
Yeah,
which I enjoyed
Karate-
playing with my
I
brother.
was gonna list Karate Champ as my first experience, unless we want to count Joust, right? Hey, the original footsies is Joust, so you know, it's just footsies up and down, left and right. but yeah, Karate Champ is probably my first fighting game. When I remember in the late '80s, feeling like, man, I love these action games, but I wish I could like fight against other people in these fighting games, in these action games, you know? Like, I want to see, like, I think it'd be awesome. So I've always had this side of me that enjoyed the action games, but also wanted to also try to see how it would be if you played people. And then I didn't see Street Fighter 1. I never saw that in the arcade. I only found out about it after Street Fighter 2 on my friend's TurboGrafx CD. But because it's called Fighting Street on there, but I played Street Fighter 2. I was living in Sherman Oaks at the time when the game came out, and it was in the 7-Eleven next to my a block from my apartment, which was actually 3 blocks from LA Akira's old studio. And that's where I first played Street Fighter 2 at the 7-Eleven, and I would just go back and play that like constantly, like crazy. Right away, I understood it. Right away, I was like, this is the game I've been waiting for. Right away, I'm like, this game, it feels good. And then someone showed me Dragon Punches, and it took me forever to get used to doing the Dragon Punch. But it was awesome.
Well, I do remember specific Street Fighter 2 playing on my cousin's Super Nintendo. Since I was a Sega Master, Sega Genesis family, so and Street Fighter came out a little bit afterwards, right? Champion
Yeah.
Edition or something, yeah.
Champion Edition came out, about a year later. It was huge. Well, not huge. Street Fighter 2 World War was huge. All the people that had Street Fighter 2, they're like, why would I get Champion Edition?
Yeah,
So-
we had Sega Genesis was Turbo, right, or Hyper Fighting.
That was Champion Edition.
Okay,
on,
Champion Edition. Okay.
On Sega Genesis.
Okay.
No, Super Street Fighter 2. Super Street Fighter 2.
There was like a different name for the Genesis version and the Super Nintendo version. I just can't remember what it's all.
Yeah, but the thing with it was the first Street Fighter game on Genesis was Super Street Fighter 2, and they didn't have the 6-button controller yet, so you had to hit the start to switch between punches and right. You kind of just wish they would just do the Street Fighter 1 system, where you just have like 2 buttons, a punch and a kick, and the longer you hold it, then it changes which button it is, you know. But though actually in the original Street Fighter 1 machine, it's the harder you hit it. but you know, ports of that would use time. Silver Bull says, my first fighting game I played was Yi Air Kung Fu, and I have played that. Played that in the NES days as well. And that game was pretty cool. That game actually, like Urban Champion is also a game I probably played before I played Yi Air Kung Fu. But Yi Air Kung Fu played very fast, and that would be like you'd have jumps and everything there. So Yi Air Kung Fu had a nice feel to it. Urban Champion was a little more rough, felt more like Fighting Street or Street Fighter One. Karate Champ, of course, has that very mechanical feel, but it feels perfect for karate. So I still like it, but if you have strong nostalgia for like Karate Champ, I recommend trying out this game called Dojo Master. That's a really fun one on Steam. I do think it's on X Arcadia too, but not many people have access to an X Arcadia machine. It's expensive. That's Shosama's company, to speak of an old VFer. But Dojo Masters is on Steam and it's really cool. You can demo it. It's so cool. But it is more Twitch based. It's more of a twitching kind of. Yeah, I love the show High Score Girl, the anime, on the anime of High Score Girl, they do have this episode where they go into a ghost arcade, like an arcade that's just like apparently not real, just it's ethereal, and in there there's a Street Fighter 1 machine, and they play on it, and they're like, this will look so cool, and as they play it, they get really exhausted and just stop. You know? No, I think everybody's happy for the 6-button conversion on Street Fighter 2. So Joe though says theirs was probably, it sounds like Dragon Ball Budokai 2, right? Budokai Tenkaichi 2. Or there's so many Budokai in it. But yeah. I'm guessing PS2, right? RJ says, I remember SF1 in the arcades. Dragon Punch was the hardest thing in the world. It's so hard to do even now on Street Fighter 1. Street Fighter 1, it's hard to do a fireball. Like I hate the command buffer in Street Fighter 1. And it's really painful to play. Actually, if you want to know what painful inputs for me is Tekken 1. Tekken 1's input, like that did not age well for me. Tekken 2 was a big step forward, but Tekken 3 is when it was actually smooth.
Yeah, I just realized something. So Sir Joseph was whining about his pool and stuff, and let's see. I think Fostings with Shadosa's first level tournament, and then in this second qualifier, and both times a loss came to Shadosa was from a St. Louis VFer. So maybe they have some anti-Shadosa tactics right now, but he should be familiar with them now, so he should get his revenge soon.
That's pretty funny. So,
but yeah. But one thing, since it's mentioned, I'll share some more insight on how the seeding works for these TNS events for VF. So TNS reached out to me. I think he also reached out to Satoshi, and also before in the past to help with the seedings and stuff. I'm still learning how the seedings work and stuff. And so in the past 3 events that TNS has run, with the strategy, you could give a relative skill level to every players. And so I decided to basically give, well, for North America, I think most of us will all agree that there's only one person that if they participate, they will take first place, and that would be Hema. And then if anyone will get second place, it usually will be a Gentleman Thief. So they were given 10-9. And then there's a lot more players that are more like kind of sandwiched together, that what I would say is like the top 8 will usually get top 8 finishes, or contend with top 8 finishes, which is given the 8. Rating of 7 is usually what I say is contends for the top 16, and then somewhere like that. That's how I did the ratings system weighing. What I learned later on, before I did the seedings for this last qualifier, is that I assumed that is how it was. The brackets and pools are made. It's just based that you have the relative skill levels, which is what I did, and then it will randomly then put the players into brackets and pools. But I asked for the TSN staff just for confirmation if that is right, and they told me no. Like that 1 to 100 players, like the actual number itself is actually important on how things get seeded. Um, so I actually took a little bit more time to do the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to 82 players. Which now that we have so much more Rebel tournaments already recorded, um, the success you had in those past events helped me position you. Um, for example, if I rated like 8 players or 10 players with a rating of 8 as your skill level, I then just look at your recent success or in the recent tournaments to basically how you cut your positioning in the numbering. So it's not the perfect system, but that's at least for transparency. That's how it was done. And I'll think if they continue to ask me, I'll try to figure out continue to improve on the seeding system.
Well, there's only one perfect system, and that's everyone play like a first 100 round robin.
Round robins, yes. Wouldn't
That's
that
the only
be?
really determined skill,
and-
absolute, with no questions asked.
Wouldn't that be? That'd be awesome. You could just have like so many setups so that everyone could be playing at the same time. That would be truly a Tetsujin tournament.
Yeah.
100 players with 50 setups, so that everyone's playing all at the same time. Yeah, round robin.
That's what leagues are for, right?
Yeah.
Oh no, I meant like we made these first 100s and not just joking, but yeah. No, but round robin's the only one that's like absolute. Then it's like, but that's just not feasible for entertainment purposes. It's not.
Well, I guess that's a question I always wonder. Like, it's a tradition established, for fighting game events and tournaments. Double elimination, first to 2, or first to 3, or so, and something like that. But if we're not limited to space and limited to time, do people prefer to play more opponents? Like round robin, if it's feasible, or is this set to tradition, and which is first to 2, first to 3? Because I think if anyone, just like even just casual players, they should get as much play against as many people as possible. But I'm not sure. I guess the downfall of trying to play as many people as possible is that stamina and the length of time it would take.
Yeah, it's the hard part is if you make a format long, people are going to drop out in the middle of it, and that's not feasible either, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so that's why. But I am glad that at least I believe in the West, double elimination became kind of more popular. It makes the most sense, right?
Mm-hmm.
But like we remember that Japan, used to just do like
single elimination. Yeah.
It's like one game, it's just like okay.
Yeah, those national official tournaments like Kakuto Shinseki, those are rough.
But that's also like the perspective of the culture too, right? Mm-hmm. Culture, like a lot of the Asian cultures, like luck is a skill, right? Luck is perceived as a skill too. So it's one of those things, and luck is embraced. And so because of that, they, instead of seeding, they, draw the ball from the box and figure out where you're at, right? And they still do that, right? So it's like, so it's not seeded. It's just like, okay, that's why the finals of Beat Tribe Cup are like the way they are, right? So where the best match might end up being like, the semis or the quarter. Because they're doing random draw.
Well, one thing with a Beat Tribe though is, while it's not the double elimination type of format and stuff, they do have like a comeback mechanism to the system, and it's not just unless you didn't fall into the 60 teams with the most points or recommendations, and there is basically chances for it's not a single loss and you're out, unless you are one of the team 61 and above. Since there's a wild card stage and a round robin part where you get at least two matches So, and if you use 2 matches, then that's kind of considered like your double elimination.
Knockout. Round 2.
Oh, I see Rusty has migrated over from the Steam side of Europe to join in the PSN side.
Yeah, it's really good to see them here.
How's the connection? So
I
Chan
like-
is from you like
But
it's fine.
you know that I'm always tolerable. Like you
Yeah,
know
you're
that
more
I can-
you're more tolerable.
but,
Yeah.
no, honestly, this is playing much better than I expected.
Okay. This is basically a connection between
I'm playing
Oregon.
The way I'm playing is not because of the connection. It's because I'm just like practicing and stuff.
Mm.
But then I'm also like they're just waiting. So
This from Oregon
part of
from to Portugal.
yeah, this feeling good though for me. But you know that I'm used to playing in lag too, like that I can make the adjustment. But this doesn't even feel laggy to me. It just feels,
That's
I mean,
cool.
a little, not much.
Round 2. Ready?
Yeah,
And that's
so
one-
Tachikoma- Portugal is Europe, yeah.
Yeah, Chachikoma is
See,
from
for Americans,
Portugal.
South America. It's like
Yeah.
no. They speak Portuguese in South America, like in Brazil, but Portugal is Europe.
Portuguese. He speaks Portuguese.
Yes. Thank you very much, Rusty.
Yep. Thanks
you
for playing.
I'm too wrapped up in the conversation, but I enjoy the conversations. Why people jump in? Yeah, I mean, we were talking about formats. Akai is not seeding the tournaments. Akai is just providing consultation on like power levels, and a lot of these events will try to seek out community members too, but not everyone. So just because one person is doesn't mean you're going to be consulted, but they do try to get reasonable voices. I think Akai has done I think Akai's record's actually quite strong because I think it's done better than a lot of other events I've seen. But that's just my personal perspective. But it's an art, and Akai is not the one seeding. Akai is just saying this is how strong I believe this player is, this player is, right?
Mhm.
And then these are the players that have had. These are the results.
That was definitely the case.
But
That was definitely the case for the first tournament, the Maximilian TNS tournament.
yeah, the
And
less
yeah, that one was specifically I just only gave power levels, and then they did consulted me and Shidosha. I think Shidosha could confirm this himself later. On when the brackets were actually made, just to get a final check of everything. So basically, when the final check-in was for the Maximilian tournament, I saw Cho join late, and so it wasn't given any power level. So yeah, this person is not. This person needs to be skill level, so you have to adjust things here and there.
yeah, and the thing is you know, we have to talk about like spheres of interaction is what I call it. This is the even when they consult players like me or Kai or anyone else, we're limited by how much we've interacted with different players. Same with Shidosha, same with Chief Flash, same with Adam Yuki, right?
Mhm.
How many people here have played with Adam Yuki? It's kind of hard to assess, right? It would be hard for him to assess you. But Akai has had a large sample size through the leagues, and the leagues are
And-
not perfect. These are like single game interactions.
And
But
if I
Akai-
don't, go ahead,
Go ahead.
you can finish.
And so, same for me. I've played a lot of people. I haven't played everyone. And look, some players I've only played like less than 10 times in the past 5 years because we don't have the same time, you know. And so, some players have only played me in a tournament, and some players have only played me in league, and those are very different environments, very different ways to rate that. So, so it's always going to be a bit trickier to figure that out, you know. And it's also humans have what we call negativity bias. So we're more likely to remember the negative events. So the person who beat you, you're more likely to kind of remember that player, you know. So for example, you know, like Radical Reactor is a player who is kind of obscure, but they were active 10 years ago.
Yeah, Vanessa
At the
player.
right? And they're a strong Vanessa player. But at the same time, they've been out of it, and then they're kind of back into it during Revo. But mostly playing ranked, and they're not interacting on social media at all. They're not playing any of the group activities. They're just playing ranked. So from my view, now I've played Radical Reactor in person and a lot on a personal level, so I have a strong sense of where I would probably rate them. I would rate them pretty good. I wouldn't rate them at like top tier. I wouldn't rate them bottom tier at all either, because they're very strong. And I can see them win like surprising matches, because if the player doesn't know the Vanessa matchup that well and Radical Reactor, they could really lose to some certain stuff that's a little different than when they fight other characters. But I'm not going to give Vanessa a powerbomb. So I have to try to be fair. But I didn't consult on this one, but the example is that, you know, Tricky was surprised that Radical Reactor was so early in her. I thought that Radical Reactor was in a proper place, actually, in the pools in the seeding. And that they would have to prove themselves. But Tricky was just like, no, they've got this history. Like, yeah, 10 years ago, you know? And even then, still kind of obscure. It was like, not everybody will remember who Radical Reactor is. So I was like, so I thought that their position in the pool was appropriate. It's just more like, well, you know, there's a lot to prove, right? Or a lot to show, and we don't really know. But we know that they're not weak. We wouldn't put them top tier, right? And the way this tournament is, there's a lot of strong players, actually. A lot, right? A lot of surprises, right? You know, a lot of surprises, surprise results. You know, some players definitely got stronger, right? It looks like to me that Perfect Legend got stronger in VF. Perfect Legend is an amazing player, and I've worked with them on VF as well. And there's a lot of good stuff, but there's also stuff that was like kind of a VF barrier for a while. But I think they've since overcome that, and I think they put in some good results in this tournament yesterday. So, anyways, you go ahead, Akai. Sorry, that's my 2 cents. Is that these are hard to do, but we can look in within our sphere, and everyone's going to have different views on the power level. But the good thing is, the tournament settles the power level to a degree. The tournament gives an indicator, and it gives something to work with. It doesn't prove it, but ultimately, if you're trying to seed for tournaments, you do use recent tournament results as best you can sometimes, because that's showing somebody's performance in the tournament a little better than others. But and it's
Yeah,
also
so
go ahead.
yeah, so specifically, if there hasn't been recent own experience with players, the next criteria is just basically looking at their tournament experience recently, and for specific for this, we're using Revo, and if that is not available, it's basically looking at the online ranks. So those were the 3 criteria that kind of helps first time seedings. So with Radical Reactor, I don't think I see, if I remember correctly, much information recently, and his online rank hasn't been played that much. But I think he did pretty well in the tournament, right? So look at that. But the final pool and brackets, like for this qualifier 2, looking compared to what I did as the initial C generator ratings, there were differences made in the brackets afterwards.
And that's really good, and that's really important to do.
And in addition, for future references, if you think the bracket was made incorrectly or something, or where your position in the brackets are, you can always reach out to TNS and bring the issues to them. I know certain players have done that, and to adjust their positioning in the brackets. So that's always something you guys can do too. So if you know players, you can always relay that information to them.
I think it is really important as a competitor, not to be a jerk. Like a lot of players are afraid. Actually, the wonderful thing about the younger generation nowadays is they're afraid to be jerks, and so, but
Depends,
but on the
depends on who you're
and,
talking to.
but on the okay, but on the downside of that, some of a lot of them are less likely to speak to the tournament organizers when they get the opportunity. So I end up giving a reminder to people. So a lot of times when I see like I think for Combo Breaker, it was like here's the brackets, and then it gave you a feedback. It was like, okay, if you have any problems with the brackets, please contact us before such and such time. So I reminded everybody, hey, if you think you could have been seated better because of your record, you should go talk to them. Just let them know and say, hey, this is how I did at Frosty. I think I have a case for my position to be a little different, right? And it doesn't mean they're going to do it, but at least you let them know. And then they're not going to take it personally. It's part of their job, you know? Yes, you could be one of those people that are being a jerk about it, but you could also be somebody that's just being honest about it. And so I encourage people to just be honest about it if you honestly have that concern. And that's what's cool about tournaments that do a bracket like a week out, is that they allow you to give feedback, and then they get to think on their own, and they're going to do whatever they do. But at least you gave the feedback, and you can just be at peace with it. Most of the time I found I'll just take whatever the pool said, even if I think it's like I could quibble about it, but I was like always like, but you know, as a player, I'm making a calculated decision like, well, what are the chances that they're going to give me like a worse bracket if I complain about this? And usually the chances is pretty like I'm like, yeah, this bracket's fine. I'm not going to complain. Like, and actually sometimes I don't want the first round bye because I want extra matches to work on stuff, to sharpen, and to get myself to manage my performance at the right times. So, but that does also speak to the advantage of being a seeded. So there is an advantage to being a seeded player, but there's an advantage to being an underdog, and you'll be shocked at how nervous pretty much every player is. Like for me during both tournaments, I have to admit I was surprised how nervous some of my opponents, who are amazingly strong, legends even, kind of surprised how nervous they were. And you have those moments when you're like, I think they're more nervous than me, in the middle of the fight. And so that was pretty funny whenever that happened. So just giving a shout out there. So I actually like having the first round to play. This, like jumping in on the second round sometimes is kind of like, man, I got a lot to work. I got to do it. I got to get through these nerves quick. So, yeah. Spring logs, it's up to the tournament. Yeah, up to the player size and the tournament. And some tournaments try to seed as much as possible, and some don't seed much at all. So some just seed just a small group, But ultimately the player size is going to determine the number of seeding spots.
For these TNSBF tournaments, every player was basically given a rating, and anyone that's basically is unknown, or in the sense that I'm not familiar with the name tag, there's no online record, like don't even see their names in the ladder boards, in the in-game ladder boards, or no tournament history. They're just given a 1. And once they can play a second time in one of those TNs at least, now that there is a track record, that helps.
Yep. And yeah, so Reaper just kind of spoke to what I said earlier, because, well, Reaper spoke about that Killer went under a different name, so no one knew it was him at Combo Breaker. And I will say that in general, usually having a seeded spot gives you an advantage, actually, because it pairs you up with people less likely. Going in incognito, if you are a strong player and you go incognito, you are taking the risk that you're going to be fighting like the number 1 or the number 2 or 3 or 4 during the during the second round. So because of that, like that's the risk you take when you go incognito. So I would like to point out, because some people, they feel like it might be sneaky to go incognito, and I'm like, yes and no. Like, sure, you go in a bit sneaky so that nobody prepares for you in advance or thinks that you're going to be at the tournament.
Off.
But at
Off.
the time,
Go
you're
ahead.
probably going to fight the hardest fight, like at the start, you know, and that could be good or bad for you. Go ahead.
Offline is not as big of an issue, I think.
Yeah.
Well, for the initial C and bracket settings, yes, if that's the most important thing to you, then yeah. Uh, but once the person's there and you recognize who the person is and stuff, then okay, it's a pretty fair match then, because it doesn't matter what you're seating, right? You play the match, you know who the person is.
Yeah.
I do think online though, if you like use a different name, a different account and stuff, especially with Virtua Fire, in which the matches go by quick.
Yeah.
If you have a background of your opponent, you know who your opponent is, you basically could already have some strategy for the very first round, right? But
Right.
if you're
Well,
playing someone,
that's why like, players do this, right? Is because like when they see you in their bracket, they look. I the day before the tournament, I go into training mode and I just practice reps against the people I expect to fight in my bracket. So I pick 3 characters that I'm likely to fight, the hardest ones, and I just spar and drill a little. I don't do it heavily, but I do this lightly, like just doing reps throughout the day.
Oh.
So knowing who's in the tournament, and just like when you know that, like if you know numbers gonna be in a tournament, you're gonna practice against Leifei, right? If you know GT's in a tournament, you're thinking John, though I knew about Akira before, right? So I knew to practice that. So people do prepare. That is the competitive life. You know?
so yes, I do think that online, different account name, different thing, it does. Isn't there a level of playing in that sense?
But I would say though that what I like in seeing these tournaments throughout this year, the online tournaments, so Rise, Max, TNS, and NA qualifiers, right? What I've been seeing though, what I think has been proven again and again is how strong the field is right now. And that right now, nobody feels like they have an easy bracket. Nobody. I don't think many people really do. Numbers might agree when somebody says that, but that's because Numbers is self-deprecating. He's just saying that kind of like because he just says that, like that's how he would reply. I don't think he had an easy path either. I think it's an insult to his opponents if he thought that, but I don't think so. I think, I think the field is strong. Are the top dogs still the top dog? Yeah. Not too hard to predict top dogs. That's the way it is. But the field has gotten so much stronger overall. And I don't think anyone had an easy path. Like, I try not to brag of, like, I don't think I had an easy path. I felt I had a hard path. But I look at everyone else's path, and I'm like, everyone else had a hard path, too. So, you know, like, I fought, Juicebox, Jacko, Setsuna, Denkai, Gentleman Thief in last week. You know, I fought Koenraku, who I had an epic grand final battle with, and you know, in Seattle. But I fought Koenraku. I fought, I fought Assassin. I fought Shidosha. I can't complain about that, you know, and more. And so, and I fought Radical Reactor also, and I fought Kamaizoken, who is a strong player. He might be like hasn't been active in recent years, but he is always a threat. He's always a threat, and he is like Chow's sparring partner. So
I think he finished like at top 32 in each of the events. So does Jeffrey still plays Jeffrey? Can you hear me, Chancha?
Yeah, he played Jeffrey. Yeah, and we had a good match. It was very stressful. It was very stressful fight with him too. Like I think we both dealt with nerves, and the good thing is with him, it's a reading match. With Kamai Zoken, it is a reading match. You know, he might have even more than Chow. He might have more of a troll. What Shidosha would say is a trolley side, the side that's going to go for something that's like kind of showboat a little. You know, but Kamai's always been kind of known like straightforward Yomi though. And so, and you know, Radical Reactor is really, I don't take Radical Reactor lightly either. But, you know, but I know Radical Reactor was probably intimidated because we do have a lot of history sparring with each other. So, yeah. Hey, Silverbolt, thank you very much. It's so good to have you here, and I really do appreciate you a lot. I appreciate your honesty, your diligence, and your friendship. I do treat it as a friendship because you're always friendly here. So thank you very much, Silverbolt. Yeah. So it was great to see. You know, it is good running into Kamais, and it's good. I'm so happy that Chow is back. Right. Yeah. And hey, Tricky again. Tricky, so happy that you're here. Feel free to talk about whatever you want to talk about because it's always fun. We're just chilling. It's like chilling and VF, VF and chill. You know. So, but we would be happy if we. I don't mind sending the stream your way too. Oh, there is a Virtuoso stream today. Right?
Yeah, isn't Soy Akai the one who streams it? I don't see his
Normally,
name.
but I think someone else is today.
Let's just go.
Because I think Soy Akai traveled for the regional tournament yesterday, right? South America.
Oh, Team Quest is on Team Quest channel. So I think I'm going to start raiding over to that side.
Sorry, I didn't mean to shoo you away.
Huh?
I didn't mean to shoo you away.
No, I could. If you're still going to play in the room and talk, I could still chat in here. I just
yeah, chat, but you should definitely raid Team Quest because we need to support. We do really need to spread our VF streaming network for everyone, right? And even if they're speaking in Spanish or Portuguese, Spanish mainly, you can also speak English usually, and they're just really nice. Oh, Team Chris, yes, Team Chris is really. Sorry, I misheard you saying Team Quest. Also,
sorry.
shout out to Team Chris. Hell yeah.
Alright, I still swear on my stream. I'll third quarter starts next weekend. There will be at least one weekend I will not be hosting league sessions as my annual family reunion. But also I think we're having another relative show up, but I need to find out when exactly they're showing up. So it's going to be a little strict. It's going to be kind of day to day to figure out which weekend I'm going to be taking off. All right, but I'll definitely be hosting first week for the third quarter next weekend. Right.
Awesome. All right, so Team Chris is being raided by Akai. I'm still streaming right now, but Tricky looks like Tricky's gonna be streaming soon.